Now today we're going to have a look at what clubs you should be adding to your golf bag, because having the right clubs to suit your own game can be the difference between having a very enjoyable round of golf and being stuck out there for 5 hours with the wrong clubs and it becoming a nightmare. So pretty much the easiest way to explain this is what I've done here is I've laid out basically the skeletal framework of the clubs you absolutely need in your bag before you even start adding clubs. So you need a driver. That's the club that goes the furthest. And what I've done here is I've added little yardage tags. So my driver goes about 230 plus yards if I hit it a bit harder. If I hit it, that is. My fairway wood, it has to be in there. It's great if my driver is misbehaving. I can use it off the fairways, off the rough, it's high launch. It goes about 220 yards. I need those clubs. Pretty much everybody needs a driver and fairway. And then I have a gap to my irons. Now my irons run from 5 to pitching wedge. My 5 iron here, it goes about 185 yards. My pitching wedge goes around 135 yards. It's not because I'm overtly strong or good or anything like that. It's just because they're strong lofted clubs. So they go from 185 to 135 and there's 6 of them. And then for our skeletal framework, let's just say I have 2 wedges to start off, and I'll explain a little bit more about why they're in there later. And then of course I have my putter. So my basic bag has 11 clubs, and that leaves me 3 clubs to add to my bag. Now let's start here with the longest side of my bag. Now if you look at my fairway wood that goes 220 and my 5 iron that goes 185, there's a bit of a gap there, and it would be lovely to have a club to sit in here that goes about 200 yards that I could just pop in there. Now I could choose a 5 wood for instance to do that job, or I could choose something like a rescue club. Now, a rescue club is basically half wood, half iron, also called a hybrid, and can be used off the tee, can be used off the rough. Basically it gets its name because it rescues you from situations. This one goes 200 yards, nice high flight, nice soft landing. That could sit in there nicely. That's a very popular option. Another very popular option nowadays is what's called a utility iron. Looks like a normal iron, is hollow inside, plays very similar to an iron in that it has a lower, punchier flight than a hybrid. Great for a links course, great for a windy day, also can be used off the tee. Super easy to hit. I think I will choose a utility iron to sit in there. Goes 200 yards as well. So I bridged the gap between 220 and 185 nicely with a utility iron. And I'm now up to 12 clubs in my bag. For my 13th club, I'm going to go back to the wedges here. Now the reason I picked 2 wedges to start off was I have my 56-degree wedge, and that has to be in your bag, has to be in my bag, because I use it from bunkers. It's got a nice wide sole, super easy to hit from bunkers, nice around the green, and when I hit it with a full swing it goes 80 yards. That has to be in there. The second wedge that has to be in there is my 48-degree wedge, because you can see that my pitching wedge is quite strong lofted. It goes 135 yards, so I need something to match that, and having a 48-degree wedge that goes 120 yards on a full swing is perfect. But it leaves us with a gap here between our wedges, one that goes 120 and one that goes 80. It would be super to have another wedge that goes 100. This being 48, this being 56. This is a 52-degree wedge, same make, same model, sits in there, goes 100 yards. So now if I have a full shot from 80, I can hit a 56. A full shot from 100, I can hit my 52. And a full shot from 120, I can hit my 48. And then anything other than that, I can hit my iron. So I have bridged this gap nicely with another wedge. I have 3 wedges now, I have 13 clubs, which leaves a choice for 1 more club in the bag. And that choice is completely up to you. Choose the club that will suit your game, that will suit the conditions that you're going to play on today, to suit the course you're going to play on today. It could be, for instance, if I was playing a course with elevated greens and big deep runoffs and I need something to really flap the ball up in the air, I could choose a 60-degree wedge to put in there. It could be very, very handy for my round that day. That would be a good option. Or I could choose to put back in the hybrid along with my utilities to give me another option if I needed that club for the conditions. Or of course, and you don't need to be embarrassed at all about putting something like a jigger or something to help you round the greens in if it's going to improve a weakness. There's thousands of options out there. The thing is, just choose the one that suits you and your game and your strengths and your weaknesses best. For me, I'm going to pop a 60-degree in there. So this is a good exercise to do every now and again. And when the weather isn't great, like today, it's very showery, quite cold. Get your clubs laid out in front of you, decide what's important, what's not, what you need, what you should add to your bag to help you enjoy your game of golf. So I hope this helped. We love getting your pictures into Golf Bidder on Instagram. Love those bag pics, they're amazing. Keep sending them in. For me for now though, it's Donal.